Make some so fresh. Fresher than you. Fresher than you. Fresher than you. Oh, and I've never like fully talked about this. All right. Hey guys, it's your girl Pineapple Curls. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing y'all a different topic that I just don't really talk about, you know? I'm gonna be talking about why I stopped playing basketball. Yeah, I'm gonna just tell the story, but before I do that, you know, there's this big red subscribe button and the like button and the bell notification button, if you will, all at the bottom of the screens. I'm gonna just give you some time to get acquainted with those features of YouTube that help content creators like me. Give you some time. I really hope we didn't just stare at each other for however long this has been. But anyway, let's get into it. If y'all didn't know, I played basketball I'm gonna just tell my whole life story about basketball. Okay, but in 3rd grade, we were doing some experiment in science class, and it required us to run like around the 4 bases, like we were playing baseball or something. So it was my turn, and I ran across all 4 bases, and then the teacher was like, okay. And then he made us like all run a race in the field. I'm like, all right, sure. So all the kids in the class race, and I finished like 1st place. No, I finished 2nd place. There was another boy in front of me, but yeah, I was 2nd place, 1st place for girls. And the teacher talked to me after that, and he was like, you're really fast. And turns out he was a basketball coach. I told my parents about playing basketball and that my teacher was interested in having me play on his team. And my parents were basically like, no, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember why they said no, but I ended up not playing basketball that year. Maybe it was like too late in the season or something. But that was what sparked my interest, because when that teacher said like I was a fast runner, I guess he saw something in me because of how fast I was. It was like, she'd be a good asset on my team or whatever. But fast forward to the next year, I'm like, I want to play basketball. 4th grade, you feel me? So my parents ended up letting me, and that's how it started. But I started off playing recreation basketball, and then that was 4th grade. And then I started playing AAU ball around 6th or 7th grade, something like that. I was in middle school for sure. I was playing AAU all the way up until 10th grade, beginning of 10th grade. So I was playing basketball for 7 years. So yeah, that's basically a background of how I started playing basketball. Getting into like what started, why, like how my career ended or whatever. So my school does like little basketball tournament events every once in a while. Yeah, obviously I was really good. I was playing AAU basketball. Mind you, I went to a fine arts magnet school. We did not have a basketball team. We did not have a football team. It was fine arts. Like, they were very strict on like not wanting basketball teams or that's a whole nother story. But basically we didn't have like sports teams like that for like popular sports. So we had like tournaments like Fall Classic, March Madness, where freshmen versus sophomores, juniors versus seniors, whoever wins out of those two, they would play each other, and that's a championship game. So basically like little scrimmage games. And so I played the year before that as a freshman. That was a success. I think we won that year. 10th grade, we were practicing for Fall Classic, and we were doing a little scrimmage, my team of sophomores. We were doing a scrimmage, and I was taking the ball down the court. This was a fast break. I was taking the ball down the court, and then I was getting ready to pull up and shoot. So I stopped, like I did a little hop, like I was getting ready to shoot. So my feet were planted, and one of the guys that was on defense, because gender didn't matter, it was just like a little scrimmage thing. One of the guys that was on the defending team, he ran smack into my knee while it was planted. So my knee went like this is the quad muscle, this is like calf muscle, shin area. My knee went like, what is it? My knee went like that. So that was painful. I couldn't get off the ground. I couldn't straighten my knee. The coach that was there, he had to like force me to straighten my knee, because like I literally could not straighten it on my own without screaming. So that happened. My dad had to come from work to pick me up and take me to the hospital. And yeah, I ended up not playing in Fall Classic. I get to the doctor, they tell me that it's just a bruised meniscus, and that if I just rest, ice, compression, elevation, something like that, for 2 weeks, and I should be fine. I had an excuse. I couldn't participate in gym. I couldn't dance. I really couldn't do much of that. So I was basically off my feet for 2 weeks. Now, when those 2 weeks were up, I started trying to get back into it. And mind you, it's a fine arts school, so I was dancing too. I was in modern dance. I was in modern 3 at the time. Yeah, modern 3. So at the time, I think this is the first instance when my knee started tweaking. So I was in modern dance class, and we were doing African dance. And if you know anything about African dance, it's a pretty vigorous like style of dance. Like you hopping, skipping, jumping, like it's very up-tempo, upbeat form of dance, I guess. So we were doing that. Basically, the moves we were doing was kind of like hopping from foot to foot. It was like jump, 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 jump. So you would jump and have to land on one foot. So I was doing that, but I could feel my knee wasn't like, it wasn't okay. Something was wrong. So I was doing that, and then I landed on my left foot. This is the knee that's injured, the left knee. So I landed on my left foot, and my knee went like out, I guess, or maybe it went in. Either way, my knee was not in the right spot. My knee tweaked and I fell to the ground, and that happened. I got wheelchaired out, and I can't really remember what happened after that, but that was the first time. There was another time when we were doing improvisation, and I did something and I tweaked my knee again, and I just like slowly just fell to the ground, and I just laid there, and I was like, and then my teacher didn't even notice because it was improv, so she just thought I was like just doing part of my little whatever, and then she saw like I just wasn't moving, and I was starting to cry too. She was like, oh Lord. So that was another time. And basically, I kept retweaking my knee over and over and over. And we're thinking like my knee is just bruised or whatever, but no. And the first doctor's visit, when I had initially injured it, they did an MRI. But they said that if they didn't see anything wrong, then that would be it. So they never called us about the MRI. So we're assuming like my knee, there's nothing really wrong with it, right? Right. So there was another time. This is the last time. I think I went to the doctor 3 times, and they just kept telling me the same thing. Bruised meniscus, just a little bruising, tweaking or whatever. Your knee will be fine. Just lay off of it for a little bit. Giving me the runaround basically. But this was the last time I tweaked it. I was out in the driveway just practicing basketball, trying to get back into it. I need to burp. I was out in the driveway trying to get back into it. And I was just like acting like I was kind of like doing fast breaks, just working on my handles and stuff, maybe shooting around a little bit. There was this one time I was dribbling fast down the driveway and I tried to hit a spin move. Bad idea. I hit the spin move, my knee tweaked, and I just fell all up on the concrete. I scraped my hands, I scraped my other knee, and I just kind of laid there in the driveway because at that point I was like, I'm not even finna cry no more. It hurts really bad, but like I'm like not surprised. I had to like pull myself up off the ground and limp to the house because like nobody was outside with me. I was just out there by myself. So I walk in the house, I tell my dad, and we ended up going to the doctor. Now, this visit was different because the doctor we had this time was rude as hell. Like, I don't know what his deal was. And then we asked him like, what does the MRI say? And he lied to us and said that there's nothing on the MRI indicating that something's wrong with my knee. But obviously there is if I keep tweaking it, right? So we like basically demand him to refer us to the orthopedic doctor so we can really see what's going on, because obviously this isn't no just bruising, simple spraying or nothing. Like, no, this is a serious problem if I keep re-injuring it over and over and over again. This is like December. So I've been re-injuring my knee from September when the fall classic stuff was all the way to December. This had been going on for months. So obviously, like, yeah, we were fed up, like, what's really going on with my knee. So we go to the orthopedic doctor and he looks at our MRI, like the MRI results, the written report, and like the MRI itself. And he comes back to us and says, yeah, you don't have an ACL. Excuse me? What do you mean I don't have an ACL? I thought my knee was fine. And then he lets my dad like see the written report, and I see it too. And I wish I still had it, y'all. Oh my gosh. Like, it literally says like torn ACL, torn LCL, torn MCL, torn meniscus. My whole knee was messed up. Like, everything was torn. Well, no, I think the MCL was bruised, not torn. One of them was not torn, but definitely the ACL and the LCL that was torn. So I'm gonna show y'all. This is the LCL right here. I got a keloid scar right here. That's where surgery happened. The ACL is right here. My ligaments like snapped in half basically. And then like basically because I kept re-injuring it, my ACL just kept getting worn down to the point where there's barely anything there anymore. Go to special doctors, go to the orthopedic, because if you go to them regular doctors, they're gonna tell you nothing's wrong just because they don't want to deal with extra stuff like pure laziness or rudeness. Either way, try to get that referral, girl. I didn't get surgery until February, so I just want y'all to see like how long this process took to even realize that my knee was seriously messed up. I wasn't playing basketball this whole time. Like, that's a long time to go without playing basketball. When you're in AAU basketball at that, and you don't play on a high school basketball team, I was kind of like at a real disadvantage compared to other basketball players because I was out the game for a long time. And I also wasn't getting that much experience because I didn't have, like, I think by that time I was too old to play rec ball. So I just wasn't playing in school because they wouldn't let us play for our own schools. So I was just kind of without a high school team. I have surgery in February. I'm out of school for 3 weeks. I had to take Percocets for painkillers. I couldn't walk up or down the stairs. And then the way they did it is they take something from some part of your leg and they replace it as the ligaments in your knee. So After the surgery, I had to rehab my whole leg because after the surgery, my quad muscles were weak because I hadn't been using them for 3 weeks. I couldn't walk. And I think they take like a piece of like, they take it from your hamstring. That's what it is. So after the surgery, because they took what was in my hamstrings and used that as the ligaments, my hamstring was small. And I had to build that back up. And that took a long time because I was busy with school and my dad had work during the day. So we would go to the gym when we could, but some days we couldn't. Like, it took a long time to get my knee completely equal to my right leg. So I had to transition from a couple knee braces. I'll see if I can dig and find some pictures, I'll insert them. But first there was this big cast-like brace. But after the orthopedic appointment, I had to wear a knee brace every day to keep it from possibly tweaking when I'm just walking or something. Like, that's how bad it was. My knee didn't have anything holding it in place. Like, that's wild, y'all. That's wild to think about. Like, there's nothing in your knee holding it in place. Just saying. But I had the big cast-like knee brace, and then I moved to like this robotic knee brace that was really annoying. And then I moved to the big knee brace that people usually wear, and then the sleeve, and then I was good. But that took like a year, not a year, but like months of braces. I had the surgery in February, and then it took months of rehab, and boom, it's September again. That was like a year gone of no basketball, or at least no real basketball. It took even longer to build my leg back up because once again, I didn't really have time. Like, we would try to go during the evening, but even still, like, I would have homework. I had to do exercises on the machines in the gym with just my left leg so I could get it back to how it was before. At some point, I think it was like around when I had the surgery, my AAU team fell apart. Like, there was drama going on, and basically my other teammates left because they didn't agree with the coach. And let me tell y'all about that AAU team, because I was really good at basketball, but because I didn't have much experience outside of the AAU team, like I didn't have a high school team, and I stopped playing rec ball. So just like training and stuff is different from actually playing basketball. Like, the only way you can get experience is if you actually get in the game, play basketball, learn to think off your head, make decisions really fast, that stuff. You can't get that in regular training or when you scrimmage in the same people. You get that playing basketball, and I wasn't really getting that. So because of that, I would tend to make mistakes in the game, or I just wouldn't contribute like that, because it was also like I just didn't really bond with the other teammates besides my sis and this other girl, but that was pretty much it. The three of us really wouldn't play for various reasons, but mine was because I didn't have much experience playing basketball, like actually playing basketball. Even though my skills were really good, I really didn't get as much playing time as I should. And even still, like, my coach admitted later on, like, he should have gave me more time to actually be in the game because of the fact that I wasn't playing basketball for real outside of AAU. So that was a problem. Everybody saw my potential, but I wasn't given the opportunities to be better, you know? On top of me not really getting opportunities in the game, and the starters like falling out with the coach or whatever, or really no, it was the moms the moms falling out with the coach. All that was going on, like, do I even like stand a chance against other people in the league at this point, especially now that I've been out for so long? Like, just thinking about, like, I'm at a disadvantage. I was at a disadvantage already before the injury, and now it's like the disadvantage has just grown tremendously since after the injury and after the surgery. So there was that to think about, like, do I even want to get back into the game for real? And I would train and go to, because I had a trainer. So that's how I'll keep up. In the off season of AAU, I had a trainer that I would work with. And sometimes he would have me scrimmage against, you know, grown men and stuff. But anyway, that was how I catch up, and he helped me rehab my knee some with the training. And he also just helped me like get a little bit back into basketball, period. That all contributed to just me just like, I ended up just not going back. As much as I really wanted to, like it wasn't working out. It took forever to rehab my knee. And even still, like I wasn't really training to get back into it because I was busy and I just wasn't sure. Like, where would I even go? I've never really like told anyone this because of how complicated it was at the time. Like, there was just so much going on. Like, my team wasn't together. I wasn't together. And then I wasn't getting much playing time as it was because of the disadvantage I was at. So do I really even want to go back? And do I even stand a chance if I do go back? You know, I was asking those questions. And I realized, like, I'm probably not going to have a chance. Unless I work super ridiculously hard. But I don't have the time to do that. So I ended up just falling off of basketball. I still, like, definitely watch games and everything. Like, I still enjoy the game, but I realized, like, after the injury, I'm like, I'm probably not gonna be able to come back from that. Realistically, given the time that I have to contribute to basketball, like, I would have to increase that substantially, and I wasn't able to do that because I went to a fine arts magnet school, had to keep my grades up, had to do these performances, had to practice piano. Like, realistically, I wouldn't have been able to do that. You know, I didn't really want to admit it at first, and that's why I think during that time, I would just tell people, like, I don't know if I'm I don't know, this happened, but I might, you know, like, just being vague, giving unsure answers, because I really was unsure. So I think in short, that's basically it. So long story short, the reason why I don't play, the reason why I stopped playing, because my knee was injured, severely injured. No ACL, LCL. My ACL was probably really bad too, because that was where the impact was. That was how I got hit. And then other ligaments were worn down too as I kept re-injuring it. It took forever for me to get surgery. I was walking around with an injured knee for half a year. Literally, like almost half a year. Like, that's wild to think about. So that wasted time. Because had they have like looked at the MRI and properly diagnosed me, like, oh, I need to get surgery in September, then I might have stood, you know, a chance. If it didn't take that long to get surgery, then it probably wouldn't have taken me that long to just, you know, get back into it. But because I was injured for half a year, had surgery, like, time is really like important in this situation. So, there was that. There was my team. On top of the fact that my coach wasn't really treating me right. It took me forever to actually rehab my knee and get it back up to how my right leg is. And even still, I think my left leg still is a little bit smaller than my right leg, but don't quote me. Even now, I still have problems with my knee sometimes. Like, I'll be on a squat machine, and out of nowhere, my knee will start hurting when I try squatting, so I'll have to stop. Or I'll have to, like, put less weight on it, you know? So, moral of the story, that this injury definitely, like, influenced my life. But I definitely don't regret it. I don't really have any animosity towards what happened. It is what it is. And this is how I've landed where I am at now. So, and I'm content with my life. So, that's the story, y'all, of why I walked away from the game. Even though I didn't really walk away. I just say, like, yeah, I did kind of walk away. But I hate how that sounds, y'all. Like, walked away. I really want us to stay in it, but plus I have other options. I have piano. I have my brain. I wasn't planning to go pros with basketball anyway. I was trying to go at most with college. So, not a big loss. I have this piano right here. I have my brain, finna be a psychologist. So, and I got this YouTube channel. If only I had over 1,000 subscribers, which y'all could help me out with. Just saying. Yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope this, gave some insight into my life, because I don't really talk about this anymore unless somebody like sees my scar, even though not a lot of people see it anymore because it's faded. So unless people ask about it, then I don't really talk about it. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that down in the comments. I'll respond to them. If you like this video, I'm not gonna force you to like or anything like that, but if you want to support your girl, I strongly suggest that you take those 2 seconds out of your day just to like the video. Just saying. Make sure, hit that subscribe button too while you're at it. But yeah, let me know if there's any other things you want to know about my life, you feel me? And, I don't have anything to hide, so it's just a matter of, because I really just don't think about this stuff until people literally ask me. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm not thinking about it. Like, I'm an open book regardless, so comment below any other stories you want to know about, and I'm gonna get to it. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.